Hi there. I guess this is story time with Dave. This is kind of a fun assignment. Um, Today's book, Skippy John Jones. It's actually a series of books. The only other one we had was Lost in Space, where he goes to Mars in his imagination. Uh, Great books. Read the description I have. Um, I mean, I could spend 2 hours, going through this book over all the details and stuff like that. So I will try and avoid a lot of that. I'll do the first page and maybe a couple things here and there, what I would do in class, but there's so much more I could do reading this to a group of kids. Um, and a lot of that would, of course, be tailored to the students in the classroom as well. So, um, all right. Uh, I'm not going to read the, thank you. It's in Spanish. Um, so we'll start. Every morning, Jones woke up with the birds. Now, if we look, Skippy John's got big ears. Do you see his big ears in here? Where are his big ears? Where is he waking up? He's waking up with the birds, right? So I think maybe he's in the bird nest. So the ears sticking out there. There's more birds. There's owl birds. And wait a minute. Those aren't birds. What are those? Yeah. I think they're raccoons myself. Oh, what's that? A little bit of red there. What's that little red? That looks like a ladybug to me. You get all these details. There's lots of things I can go on every page. I'm just going to do that for this page here and a couple other things later on. And this did not please his mother at all. "Get yourself down here right now, Mr. Kitten Britches," ordered Mama Junebug Jones. "No self-respecting cat ever slept with a flock of birds," she scolded, "or ate worms, or flew, or did his laundry in Miss Doohickeys' bird bath." The lecture went on and on, as usual. "You've got some serious thinking before you leave this room, Mr. Fuzzy Pants," said his mother, "about just what it means to be a cat, not a bird, not a mouse or a grouse, not a moose or a goose, nor a rat or a bat. You need to think about just what it means to be a Siamese cat. And stay out of your closet," she added, closing the bedroom door. But once he was alone, Jones began to bounce and bounce and bounce on his big boy bed. "Oh, I'm Jones, and I bounce on my bed once and 6 times I land on my head." On his way down to earth from a gigantic big bounce, Jones shot past his bedroom mirror. "Holy guacamole!" exclaimed Jones. "What was that?" So up he went again, and again it appeared. Then, using his very best Spanish accent, he said, "My ears are too big for my head. My head is too big for my body. I am not a Siamese cat. I am a Chihuahua." Back on land, Jones climbed into his toy box and rifled through some of his old junk. After he put on his mask and sword and climbed into his mouse, Jones began to sing in a mooey soft voice. "My name is Capito Frejito. I fear not a single bandito. My manners are mellow, I'm sweet like the jello. I get the job done, yes indeedo." Of course, you can read that several times with the whole class clapping. get interactive there. Back in the kitchen, Jujubee, Jezebel, and Jillyboo Jones were helping Mama Junebug Jones make lunch. "Can Skippy-chan come out of his room now?" asked Jujubee. "No," answered Mama Junebug Jones. "Mr. Fluffernutter is still thinking." In fact, SkippyjonJones wasn't thinking about being a Siamese cat at all. With a walk into his closet, his thoughts took him down a lonesome desert road, far, far away in old Mexico. Not long into his journey, a mysterioso band of chihuahuas appeared out of the dust. "Ay, caramba, who goes there?" asked SkippyjonJones. "We go by the name of Los Chimichangos," growled Don Diego, the biggest of the small ones. "Who are you?" "I am El Skipito, the great sword fighter," said SkippyjonJones. Then the smallest of the small ones spoke up. "Why the mosquito, dude?" asked Paquito Tito. "I go incognito," said Skipito. "Do you like rice and beans?" asked Pinolito. "Si, I love rice and beans," said Skipito. "He may be the dog of our dreams," whispered Rosalita. "Perhaps," said Tiamita, "if he knows the secret password." I love how rice and beans became mice and beans. Very subtle. Leaning toward Don Diego, El Skipito half sneezed, half spoke the secret password into the Chihuahua's very large ear. Pichu! "Bless you," said Don Diego. "Gracias," said Skipito. "Then it is true," decreed Don Diego. "Yip, yippee, yippito! It's the end of Alfredo Bezito. Skipito is here. We have nothing to fear. Adios to the bad Bumblebeeto." Then all the changos went crazy loco. Another thing, I think I talked about this in text a little bit too, but this word adios was never quite defined, but we can easily get from the context of what's going on with the story. First, they had a fiesta. Then they took a siesta. But after waking up, the chimichangos got down to serious business. Using his paw, Don Diego drew a picture in the sand of the great Bumblebeeto for Skipito to see. A hush grew over the chimichangos, so great that one could hear a whisper drop. "Alfredo Pesito," whispered the crowd. "El Blimpo Bumblebeeto Bendito." "See," said Paquito Tito. "The Bendito steals our frijoles." "Not our beans," cried Skipito, outraged. "See," Paquito continued. "Red beans and black beans, Boston baked and blue. Cocoa, coffee, kidney beans, pinto and jelly too." "And now he comes for us," Paquito added. "Por qué?" asked Skipito. "Because we are full of the beans too." Then Don Diego stood tall and in his most somber voice declared, "Yo quiero frijoles." "Huh?" asked Skipito. "The dude just wants his beans back," said Paquito Tito. "And you are the dog for the job." "Me?" asked Skipito. Then all of the chimichangos turned towards Skipito, the great sword fighter. But poor Skipito had no time for a plan, because in the blink of an eye, a gigantic shadow darkened the landscape. The chimichangas scattered in all directions. Vamos, Skipito, or it is you the bandito will eato, they cried. Skipito stood his ground, but his legs shimmied and shook like jello, and his teeth chattered like the castanets. Then, in a muy soft voice, he said, my name is Skipito Fresquito. I fear not a single bandito. But Alfredo Bazito flew straight for Skipito until the bean-eating bandito hovered only inches away from the great sword fighter's face. Holy frijoles! Cried Skipito as he thrust his sword in the air. Suddenly, what's this word, everybody? Pop went the bandito, landing on Skipito's sword. And quicker than one could say Chihuahua's cheese and crackers, every kind of bean came spilling out of Alfredo Bazito, the Bumblebito Bandito. Then all the doggies burst into song. Yip, yippee, yippito! Our hero was El Skipito. He's the dog of our dreams who delivered the beans, and now we can make our burritos. But back at home, there was such a ruckus coming from SkippyJones' room that Mama SkippyjonJones and the girls just had to find out what was going on. They raced down the hall to the kitty boy's room. Panquito, Crashito, Papito, Skipito, just in time to see SkippyJones' closet exploding. Then out flew Candy, beanbag doggies, and the kitty boy with his birthday piñata on his head. SkippyjonJones! Everyone cried. Hola, muchachos, he said in a muy soft voice. Mama SkippyjonJones lifted up SkippyJon and covered his head with furry purry kisses. What am I going to do with you, Mr. Cocoa Pugs? She scolded. That night, when he was supposed to be going to sleep, SkippyJon began to bounce and bounce on his big boy bed. Oh, I'm SkippyjonJones with a mind of my own, and I'll bounce on my bed for hours. I know I'm a cat, but forget about that. Say goodnight, SkippyjonJones, called his mama. Buenas noches, mi amigos, said SkippyjonJones. Like the tag there. E.B. White Read Along Out Loud Award. Terrific book. I thought so. Well, good night, everybody. Sweet dreams.